So, you're thinking about becoming a registered dental technician in Canada. That's awesome. But you might be wondering, how do I actually do it? Well, there's a clear official process, and in this explainer, we are going to break that entire journey down step by step. Ready? Let's get started.
Here's a quick look at what we're going to cover. First, we'll talk about why this is a regulated profession. Then, we'll walk through the main three-step journey. We'll dive deep into the 4 different credentialing routes, the exams you'll need to pass, and that final step of provincial registration. And to wrap it up, we'll look at some amazing tools to help you along the way.
Okay, first things first. Before we get into all the how-tos, it's really important to understand the why. Why is there such a structured, formal process to become a dental technician in the first place?
Well, it really all boils down to one crucial thing: public safety. In most of Canada, dental technology is what's known as a regulated occupation. This means it's governed by law to protect patients. This whole registration process exists to make sure that every single professional meets really high national standards for their skills and knowledge.
All right, now that we get the why, let's jump into the how. The Canadian Alliance of Dental Technology Regulators, you'll see them called CADTR, has laid out a really clear official path to getting your license. The entire journey, when you look at it from a high level, really comes down to these 3 main steps. First, you prove your qualifications. Second, you show what you can do in a competency assessment. And third, you officially register with a province. You can think of it like this: prove your background, show your skills, and then get your license. Let's dig into that first step: credential processing. Now, this is not a one-size-fits-all kind of thing. The specific path you take is going to depend entirely on your educational and professional background. So what is credentialing, really? Well, it's a formal evaluation where CADRA takes a close look at your diploma, your transcripts, and all your hands-on experience, and they measure it all against the national standard here in Canada. It's all about ensuring a consistent level of quality and safety. For most people, you're going to fall into one of these 2 main paths. The approved program route is the most direct way, and it's for graduates of specific pre-approved Canadian programs. The second path is the DTE route. That stands for Dental Technology Education Equivalence, and that one's for pretty much everyone else, whether you graduated from another program in Canada or from anywhere else in the world. So, if you're on that approved program route, it's pretty straightforward. You'll mainly just need your diploma from one of the designated Canadian colleges. There is one little exception to know about. If you're a graduate of the Technical Vocational High School in Winnipeg, you'll also need to document an extra 600 hours of practical experience after you graduate. Now, for the DTE route, and this is super common for internationally trained professionals, there's a bit more paperwork. You're going to need your official transcripts, a credential authentication report, detailed course descriptions, and this is a big one, proof of 1,300 hours of hands-on experience. This is how they make sure your training is truly equivalent to the Canadian standard. And just so you're aware, there are also 2 other highly specialized routes. The referral route is for people who were already registered in Canada and are maybe coming back to the profession. And the LCAS route is for applicants who've actually already had their credentials checked out by a provincial regulator. Okay, so once your credentials have been verified and approved, it's time for step 2, showing what you can do. This is where you'll take the Dental Technology Entry to Practice Assessment. This assessment is broken into 2 very different parts. First, there's the KBA, which is a 4-hour computer exam all about your theoretical knowledge, your book smarts. Then there's the PBA, a 4-hour practical exam where you'll move through about 7 to 12 different stations to prove your hands-on skills. It's the ultimate test of both knowing your stuff and actually being able to do it. And just to give you an idea of what you're up against with the KBA, you're looking at an exam with somewhere between 150 and 200 questions. It's a really comprehensive test, designed to make sure you have that solid foundation of knowledge you need to practice safely. For all you planners out there, this is for you. Here are the tentative exam dates for 2026. As you can see, you get a couple of shots at the KBA, while the practical PBA is held on specific dates in Ontario and Alberta. This is really key info for mapping out your timeline.
You did it. You proved your education, you passed the exams, and that brings us to the home stretch. Step 3. This is where you apply to a provincial regulatory body to get your official license to practice.
One of the best parts about this whole system is how streamlined it is. You don't just get a certificate and get sent on your way. CAD TFTR automatically lets the regulator in your chosen province know that you've passed, which makes that final application so much simpler for you. Now, this is absolutely critical to understand. The rules change depending on where you want to work. Registration is mandatory in provinces like Alberta, BC, Ontario, and Quebec, but it's voluntary in Nova Scotia and in Manitoba. The profession isn't regulated at all. So you have to make sure you check the specific requirements for the province where you're planning to practice.
I know, this can feel like a really complex journey, but the good news is you don't have to figure it all out alone. CAD-TR has actually developed some fantastic tools to guide you every single step of the way.
And honestly, these tools are a huge help. You can use the self-evaluation tool before you even pay a dime, just to see if you meet the basic requirements. There's a practice tool to help you get ready for that big knowledge exam, and even a cost estimator to help you budget for the whole process.
And finally, and this is so important, please don't let the cost stop you. There are microloan programs available like Windmill Microlending and Success, and they are specifically designed to help internationally trained professionals cover the fees for all this credentialing and assessment stuff.
We're going to leave you with this one vital piece of advice, especially for those of you coming from abroad. Trust me, trying to get official documents from another country once you're already here can be an absolute nightmare. The single best thing you can do for yourself is gather everything before you arrive in Canada.
And that's the whole roadmap, from getting your credentials checked, to passing the exams, to getting your final license. It's a structured path for sure, but it's designed to uphold a really high standard of care. So the only question left is, are you ready to take that first step?